classic BBC there, classic. Oh yeah.
Newsnight.
Thanks everyone.
With Victoria Derbyshire, weeknights at 10:30 on BBC Two and iPlayer.
Tonight at 10, an agreement between Ukraine and the US for a ceasefire. But how will Russia respond? In talks, the US said it would restore military and intelligence aid to Kyiv in exchange for a 30-day pause in the fighting, prompting this from President Trump.
Hopefully Russia will agree to it. We're going to meet with them later on today and tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to wipe out a deal. But I think the ceasefire is very important.
President Zelensky has thanked Donald Trump for listening to his arguments. The question now is whether Moscow will listen to America's vision for a ceasefire.
And as well as from Kyiv, we'll bring you reports from Jeddah, where the talks took place, and from Moscow and Washington. Also on the programme, President Trump reverses his plan to double metal tariffs on Canada in another US policy twist. The man who murdered two sisters and their mother with a knife and crossbow is told he will never leave prison. The captain of the container ship which collided with a tanker in the North Sea is arrested on suspicion of gross negligence manslaughter. And in the Champions League, an early setback for Liverpool, taking on Paris Saint-Germain for a place in the quarter-finals.
On Newsnight at 10:30 tonight, we'll bring you fresh insight on the stories of the day with big interviews and our regular panel of Newsnighters. And of course, look at what the papers are saying about tomorrow's news.
Good evening. There's been a diplomatic breakthrough after hours of talks in Saudi Arabia between Ukraine and the US, with Ukraine agreeing to a 30-day ceasefire in its war with Russia and the US saying it'll immediately resume military aid and intelligence sharing with Kyiv. The announcement prompted Donald Trump to invite President Zelensky back to the White House less than 2 weeks after he gave him a very public dressing down. This evening, President Trump, speaking in Washington, said that hopefully President Putin will also agree to the ceasefire, but there's been no direct response yet from Russia. Our first report tonight is from Tom Bateman in the capital of Saudi Arabia, Jeddah.
The talks lasted